So something I'm learning in this journey at the moment is the fact that when God says to wait, he doesn't mean sit around and do nothing. Especially when you're waiting on a specific promise or, a job opportunity that God has promised you or just a different lifestyle that God is promising you. When he says wait for that, he doesn't mean sit around and do nothing. And I know some people are gonna be like, duh, but it's been a problem for me because, one of my struggles is procrastination. And I struggle with feeling like the waiting period is God saying just rest and do nothing. And every time that I try to get into something and my creative mind starts going and I try to, start new businesses, or I try to just start new hobbies or interests, something in my head will always say, no, not right now. And I used to think it was God saying that all the time until it became, okay, can I read my Bible? No, not right now. You don't need to do that. Can I go to the gym? No, not right now. Can I sell my items that I need to sell? Can I get rid of, old things, old clothes? No, not right now. It was it came down to everything was no, not right now, wait. And I think you become obsessed with waiting on God that you think that he's talking about everything. And it caused this like illusion in me to not actually live life. I felt like I wasn't actually living my life because of this voice that kept telling me to wait. And again, like I've talked about before, we can become obsessed with God's promise to where he says wait in a specific area, and we tie that to every specific area in our life. And that's not the type of God that we serve. He doesn't want you to be lazy. Laziness doesn't You're not going to benefit from that. And I'm finally at a point where I have to keep reminding myself that nobody's coming to save you. Okay? When Jesus says that he saves, he doesn't mean that he's just going to come in and throw opportunities at you to where you're just fulfilled and that's it, and you don't have to do any work towards it. You have to meet God halfway. That means that he's going to open the door for you, but you have to go out and pursue that. He's going to say, anything that you pursue at this moment, let your creative mind flow. It's going to be, it's going to elevate and it's going to prosper and it's going to be fruitful. But you have to go into it. You cannot say, all right, God, now what? Now what? Now what? Now what? And there's certain seasons where he does want us to be that because he's building up our discernment. But it's not good to operate like that 24/7, to operate feeling like you're waiting on something, feeling like you're waiting for somebody to come and save you. And I feel like that does come from, again, that the root comes from childhood. Um, but it's not an excuse. You have to get up and realize that no one's coming to save you. Your life is dependent on you. Okay? That means that you have to get up when you don't want to. You have to read your Bible when you don't want to. You have to set an alarm and get up at specific times when you don't want to. If you know that you're a person that likes to sleep in and you want to get things done, you have to set an alarm for 7 a.m. and get up. You have to figure out what works for you. You have to try things. And if you hear this voice saying wait, meaning you've been asking God, or you feel like you're talking to God and it seems like God is saying wait to do very productive things, that's most likely not God. That's just your ego telling you to wait and telling you that something's coming for you, and you know what I'm saying, something's just gonna magically appear. That's not how life works. And I have to keep reminding myself again that there's a balance, there's duality. You have to have a balance between your spiritual side and your physical. You cannot be on one side more than the other. And it's just been a challenge for the last week because again, I have struggles to where I make quick decisions, and I I run from things. I run from having to get up and do things myself. I run from this full independence of getting to a point where I make my dreams happen, and I get to that point to where I see the fruitfulness, and I get to see that progress because again, I'm not used to things turning out in my favor. I'm not used to things actually being good for me. So when it goes good for a while, I like to wait for something and wait for God's extra confirmation when he already told you to walk through this door. And I don't know who needs to hear that, but if there's anybody that you feel like God is just have you in a waiting period, but you're confused on if it's you telling you to wait or God telling you to wait, God will not he won't not allow you to do things that are productive. Meaning that if you're saying, God, I want to go to the gym, I want to get more energy. I've been lazy. I feel like I need more energy. God, I want to fix my health. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I've been coughing a lot. There's something wrong with my throat. There's something wrong with my insides. I need to get that checked. And God keeps saying, not right now. No, don't do it. Not right now. Wait. Then that's not God. God will say, wait, meaning wait for certain promises. Like if God said that you're going to be a millionaire, that's something you have to wait on because it's not physically here at all, right? You have to build on that. But that doesn't mean that you don't build. That means wait on it. It's coming. He's promising that that's going to happen, but you have to go into what he's calling you. Like if he says that you have to go into a certain profession, he's saying do content. He's saying start that YouTube channel. He's saying start that artwork, start making clothing, start that business. You have to actually start, because a problem that I had for a while is confusing my intuition with my ego. And one thing about intuition, one thing about like what God tells you is that he's not going to constantly repeat it to where you feel like your mind is boggled with thoughts. He's not going to do that. He's not going to feed it into you 50,000 times, okay? He might say it here, and then he might say it again, and then he might say it again, but it's not going to be like ongoing thoughts of like, no, wait. That's procrastination. That's ego. That's you feeling like something's coming to save you once again. And you have to break out of that. You have to break out of thinking that you can't do anything right now while you're waiting. The waiting period is not supposed to be you being lazy and you laying around and you do one thing of content and then the rest of the day you're doing nothing, or you waking up late and feeling like, well, God's gonna make something happen. He already told you what he's gonna make happen, but you have to pursue it. God has given you gifts. Whatever gifts he has given us, he has given all of us specific gifts. You have to pursue that. If you know how to sing, that's not for no reason. If you know how to draw, that's not for no reason. If you have a creative mind that you just know how to market when it comes to businesses and creating businesses for yourself, that's not for no reason. Everybody has their talents, but you have to pursue it. It's going to be fruitful if you pursue it, but if you don't and you become lazy, you're never going to see, you know what I'm saying? You're never going to see the fruits of your labor. You're never going to see that. God doesn't like laziness, because that's where your mind starts to create thoughts, and it starts to create anything, and it starts to push you in different directions. It tries to turn you away from God. When you sit with yourself too much to where you're just alone and you're just doing nothing, you're not controlling your mind can take over you. And I don't know who he's reminding that of. You know, he's reminding me of that too, but I feel like somebody can use that help of just acknowledging that the waiting period doesn't mean do nothing. The waiting period means that it's going to come. Don't push and rush for, you know, that $1 million company. Don't push and rush for that house. Don't just go to any house just because you want this house so bad when God is saying your house is coming. Don't rush and move anywhere when God is saying you're going to be moving soon. Don't just rush and leave. Think about it. Focus on it. Focus on what he's telling you to do in this moment. You have to focus on the present, and the more that you focus on the future, you're gonna be anxious, and you're gonna feel like you're not doing enough because that future isn't here yet. When God didn't give you a timeline, he didn't say the future is in 2 days. He said the future, this is your future. He gave you insight on it. That doesn't mean that you wait around and do nothing. So again, I don't know who needed to hear that, but I needed that help today, and God put that in my heart today. And hopefully somebody can use that help.